Welcome to Mrs. Base's 6th grade math video lesson. This lesson series is on conversions from fraction to percent. Let's begin by looking at vocabulary for this lesson. For this lesson, we'll be looking at fractions, and we will look at the fraction bar, and also the slash. Both symbols will be used. Now let's look at percent. Percent literally means per 100. So I'm just going to make a very short table here. So per could be for every, and cent is 100, for every 100. It could be in every 100, or out of 100. When we label percents, we must use the symbol, which is this. And the symbol goes behind the number. Equivalent is just a fancy word for equal. Let's look at a couple examples. We're going to shade 7/10 of the grid. Now, before we begin, let's look at the grid. This is a 10 by 10 square, which means it has 10 squares across and 10 down. So these 100 squares represents 100%. Okay, one more time. Every box is 1%. So we have 100 squares or boxes, that's 100%. All right, let's begin. We need to shade 7 out of every 10 squares on this grid. Now, you can shade these going across if you like. You can shade going down if you like. I think I'm going to go across for this. And when you're on IXL, you're just going to click and drag across or down, and that will shade for you. So I don't plan on shading these in perfectly. So I'm going to start here in the upper left corner, and I need to get 7 out of 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because here's 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will go a lot quicker for you because all you have to do is click and drag. So you won't be marking or shading by hand. So now the question is, what percent is equivalent to 7/10? We're looking for the percent. This is simple. You go back and you figure out how many of these little squares did you shade. So if I shaded 7 across and there are 10 rows, 7 times 10 is 70. And of course, be sure to use the percent symbol. Now you could go back and count these one at a time, that would be fine. I just wanted to be a little quicker and say that it's 7 times 10 is 70, and I added the percent symbol. Okay, let's look at one more example. Shade 3/50 of the grid. Well, you might say, well, wait a minute, this grid doesn't have 50 squares, it has 100. Yeah, that's right. So if I want to think about dividing this into half, so I'm just going to use my marker to show you this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half would be here. And this time I'm going to go vertically instead of going across. And this says I'm going to shade 3 out of every 50. So the left side of my green line is 50 squares and the right side has 50 squares. Just to make sure you know how, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 10 is 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the 10 going down is 50. Okay, so let's shade 3 out of every 50. You can shade the 3 anywhere you like. So I want to shade here, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to shade here, 1, 2, 3. Did I shade 3 out of every 50? Yes, I did. So how many squares did I shade? 6. So it is 6%. It really should be that simple. Okay, now I want you to practice. Please go to IXL, 6th grade, S.3, and you should see convert fractions to percents using grid models. Please remember, I want you to work to get at least an 80%, and if you work a little extra, you can get a 100% for that bonus point. Thank you.